What's up, Extra Butter listeners? On today's episode, we are diving into the Space Series finale. We watched the all-time classic space alien movie in E.T. the Extraterrestrial, a 1982 sci-fi family movie that a lot of us have probably seen, but watching it again for the 100th time, maybe the second time, who knows, but it's something that I'm sure you've heard of or seen clips from. Excited to jump into that. We also have a popcorn draft for you at the back half of the episode, or back end, not really the back half, but coming in with you guys with the items that you'd want to take to space. So we take a trip to Mars and we draft items that we want on the spacecraft while traveling. So we're not at the space station. We are in a smaller area. And what items would you need for living, entertainment, health, hygiene, you name it? We make a little bit of a draft, 3-man draft. I think 4 would have been tough. We've also got some gears to grind. We've got multiple Oscars to give. Actually, a couple of us might have 2 Oscars today. So make sure you guys stick around in the beginning there and don't skip to the movie to hear about the Oscars that we've got to give out. And we get our boy Critter back. We're not a 2-man show anymore. We've got 3 people back on the pod. Excited to dive right into it and jump into E.T. the Space Series finale. Guys, listen to every single episode on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. And make sure to drop us a follow on Instagram for updates of movies that are coming out that week. Watch along with us. We got some clips out there for you. We drop a post every time an episode goes live. And the same thing happens on X, the Everything app. Everything happens on X. You are the media. Guys, we love you. We appreciate you. We want to hear more about what we can do next. And stick around to the end of the episode for the wheel spin for the next series of 4. Hope you guys enjoy the episode. Critter, roll the tape.
Extra, extra butter on the corn for me. Extra, extra butter. I hope they don't charge a fee. But it won't matter anyway. I got a good movie to play. I'm gonna ask my friends to stay extra butter for me.
This is episode 20, and ladies and gentlemen, we've got a trifecta back. No more 2-man game. Critter is back from vacation. We're still missing Trav out in the boonies of New York. Internet ass. So he will not be able to be with us here again today, but we got Crit back. So, Crit, welcome back. Happy to have you. Talk to us about Florida.
Oh, it was a good time. So the first two days we got some beach time, which was our main goal, and then also to see our friends and their 2 kiddos, which thanks to rain we were able to have some real quality time with them. And then we wanted to go deep sea fishing. We scheduled to go deep sea fishing, but Mother Nature had other things in mind. So we were going out and they're like, yeah, those clouds are about to link up and it's about to just piss all over us. And so basically we ran away from it. And so we still got to fish, just did inshore fishing and caught, I don't know, like 3-4 snappers. So our appetizer for that night's dinner.
At least you caught something.
But I did catch something, and here you boys go.
I don't know what that means, but
not a disease, I'll tell you that much. We're good on that.
God. I wasn't even thinking of that, but definitely could have taken it that way.
A puffer fish.
Oh shit!
That is sick.
I was reeling in because I wasn't catching anything, and all of a sudden, right by the boat, it just snagged this sucker. And I was like, what the hell did I catch? I thought it was just, your typical like seaweed or just some bullshit. And it turned out to be a puffer fish.
So they're only like that when they're stressed out. So,
well, I hooked him right in the side. So he got filled up with water. He probably didn't last much after that, but it was pretty cool to catch that.
Probably a dumb question. Is a puffer fish like the blowfish, or are those 2 different things?
I couldn't tell you, but
I'm thinking of the ones that
that's what the captain called it, so that's what I'm going with.
There's a puffer fish like blow up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was called a blowfish or not.
I think there's a couple different kinds too, because he said there was like one that was more poisonous and had more spikes to it. This one doesn't really have spikes.
Okay. I'm thinking of like Finding Nemo or like those movies where they have the blowfish
bunch of spikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's a bunch of different like types of them. So some are just like have no spikes or anything, like what Crit had, and then the other ones are more ferocious.
Isn't
it was
that
funny.
the same way with like manta rays? There's some that can kill you, and other ones are just probably same as jellyfish. Like it's crazy, like
Mm-hmm.
the amount of types of fish there are that. And I mean, I guess that goes to snakes and really a lot of animals that are not just like your typical, bears. All of those could kill you, but not because they're poisonous.
Yeah, last fall we went to Florida, and it was like in between two hurricanes, and a bunch of jellyfish were like literally floating near shore, but they weren't anything to like really like they would, I don't know, probably more like a bug bite feel instead of a fuck you up, sting you, and you gotta get pissed on feel. Because Lindsay like got hit by a couple because she was in the ocean a lot last fall, but she felt it and it was kind of like over and done with. But
That's good.
Yeah. No,
yeah, it was kind of funny that I caught that fucker.
You don't look that much tanner.
What's that?
You don't look that much tanner.
No, it's because that's about as tan as I get.
there.
I was pretty red in that picture, though.
Deep sea fishing is something I don't think I'd ever do because I got seasick as a kid, and I've been on bodies of water plenty of times since then. Not deep sea, but that wasn't when I got seasick as a kid. It wasn't deep sea either. It was like maybe it was. I don't fucking remember. I think it was in Gulf Shores that it happened. We were going like across to something, but I would never probably do it. But I've always been curious when you're deep sea fishing, like just what's going to come up on the end of that hook, like that.
You don't know.
I went last fall. Yeah, last fall I went, and that's why we wanted to go again.
Yeah.
Yeah, seasickness. Like we were outside of the boat. It wasn't honestly the weather wasn't the greatest. Probably about the same, if not worse, than what we went out this past weekend. But it was a much bigger vessel. This thing that we took last weekend was max 6 people, maybe 8. So it wouldn't be able to handle it. Whereas the boat we took when we went to Destin last fall, that thing was massive. Like there was 20 of us fishing.
Yeah.
There's nothing to it. You drop the damn hook, throw your chum on the hook, drop it straight down, and you pull it on up. We caught like 3 fish and more than that, but we could only keep.
Yeah.
But the pull it up
to eat.
is the fucking workout, man. Like,
Yeah, it's not
Spanish mackerel
not
the size
that
of
hard,
this.
but yeah,
it is
It's
harder to
pretty tough.
pull in than like your king salmon.
You know, the fun thing about it is once you start actually catching shit, them dolphins are going to be following you.
Oh yeah.
How many times, like, I remember Lindsay had this one. She's like, this is a good one. Snap, nothing left. Dolphin just said, thank you for my dinner.
Yeah.
See you later.
He put it in front of my face. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, they just started following our boat. You could see them.
I'm pretty ignorant to the ocean, but you said it's really not that bad to reel it in. I feel like it definitely fucking could be, depending on what
Well, yeah.
snags that thing.
But there's probably certain bait that they give you. They're not going to give you shark bait.
The amount of technology they have nowadays where they can just tell you where the fucking fish is, like
Yeah.
That's the
50
other thing.
feet
They're
deep,
just like,
guys.
right here.
Drop it that low. Hope you snag something, but the radar they have is insane.
Yeah.
I will say seasickness, we felt just fine on the outside of the boat. We went into the cabin and everybody else was getting seasick, and it was like a disease basically. We all of a sudden felt sick.
Yeah.
Did you
And
take
once we
Dramamine?
Nope. And then once we actually got to
same.
the first fishing spot, we walked back out to where we were getting soaked the whole time on the way out there, and that's why we left. Once we got back out there, we're like, I don't care how wet I get, I'm not going back in that cabin because everybody else is getting sick, and I'm just watching everybody puke.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah. I've been on a cruise ship, and like you can't really tell on a cruise ship that you're on a boat unless you're like taking a piss. Like when you're
How bad is it on a cruise ship? Like the sheer size of that thing has to just like be minimal, right?
What do you mean? Like the
like
in the water?
like when you get like 20-foot wakes and everything.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you really
swells.
the only time I felt seasick on the cruise ship is because they have a gym on there, and I was like, you try to you in your head every time you go on vacation, like, all right, I'm gonna get a workout in. Never happens. I actually went to the gym on the cruise ship because it was like the views were cool, so I was like, I'm at least gonna go try this out. tried to get on like a treadmill or an elliptical, dude, that you'll feel it then. Like if you are in a setting like that, then I started to feel sick, got the fuck out of there. But like you really can't tell you're on the water unless you're like in the bathroom or in the shower because you're just stationary and then it's not surround noise and stuff. So you're a little bit more locked into it, but you really can't tell. Very, very like eerie to look off the side of a cruise ship though.
Yeah, man. And then like that kid who jumped off as like a dare or something. Like just gives you that person. Yeah, he disappeared.
Well, yeah, great idea.
There was that little girl that fell off, and her dad jumped in, and they the whole operation took like 20 minutes. It was the craziest thing ever. He jumped in to go get her, got her ass. They got a safety boat down, rescue boat, and they got
That's crazy.
All under like 30 minutes. It was
nuts. Man. This kid jumped in the middle of the night.
I saw that video. Yeah,
that one, and it's like it gives you that perspective of like, dude, you're on the side of a cliff.
Yeah. It's not it's like it's weird.
I don't think a little buoy's gonna do nothing for you either. So
no, in the middle of the night you probably don't have you can't see. Two, like you're not expecting that to happen ever, obviously. Right. But like the operation at night, I'm assuming is going to be a lot different than the operation during the day because you can still see things. But yeah, it's crazy. But cruises, yeah, I mean I've never gone on another one, but you really can't. I wouldn't compare that to like deep sea fishing in terms of how the boat's going to shake.
I don't even know what it would have been like. I was kind of worried thinking about this boat. And I was like, how far are we going out? Because if we're going out as far as we did with that big-ass vessel, my ass might fuck around and get seasick.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, glad you're back. The two-man, the pick and roll, as I called it 1,000 times last week, worked out pretty well. But it is
that
nice.
Did.
Proud of you, Geese.
It's nice to have more people back. Yeah, shout out to Geese for knocking out the recording portion there.
Did we ever figure out the Pam situation? Did you listen to it at all for the scenes?
Pam.
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
You told me there wasn't much to do, and I just went with it and cleaned up the video part of it and said, see you later.
It's in there, so I'll have to go back and watch it.
Okay. You can clip that shit.
I've got a different topic take here because by the time everybody listens to this podcast, it'll be next Friday. And by that time, you would have seen Arch Manning and Steve Sarkisian and the boys walk into the Horseshoe and come out winning by 2 scores. This game is not going to be tight. It's not going to be tight. The defending national champions, they lost a lot. They've got arguably the 2 best players in the country, one on offense, one on defense, and Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith. Jeremiah Smith had 1 catch for 12 yards in the game that Texas did lose in the semifinals last year in the playoffs. Is that going to happen again? No, probably not. He's going to get his, I'm sure. But I do not think – I think it's disrespectful to rank a team number 1 in the country. I know it's number 1 versus number 2 for the first time, I think, ever in week 1 of college football history. But to give Texas that number 1 next to their name and then to put them on the road at the Horseshoe as an underdog is disrespectful. And I think that by the time you hear this, Texas has won the football game, and they probably put up at least 30 on them boys. And I think we're winning the game by 2 touchdowns.
Lock it in. This is gonna be fun to listen back to.
I put myself out there right now. By this time that you're hearing this, Texas has won the football game.
It sounds like we're gonna have that stat screen pulled up for next week.
Hey, and it's gonna be.
I will say it's been a long time since.
That's not a guess. That's
when's the last time Notre Dame won in Miami? It's Purdue.
I've consumed a lot of football podcasts this week talking about college football, and by a lot I mean 2. That game is kind of I've heard both ways. I've heard it both ways. I don't know how you feel about it being a Notre Dame guy. Not ideal to be on the road week 1 as 2 fans of 2 different teams going to hostile territory that are competitive games. It's not a fish beat game or we paid this school $200,000 to play us game. It's a legitimate contest. And I don't know. Miami, everything I'm hearing is their defense is legit this year, and they were horrible last year. And if they would have been,
so is ours. Our defense is stellar. The only thing I'm worried about is the quarterback, which is a big, big piece. But if we got the studs at wide receiver, like they're saying, and he can basically just throw it to him and not worry too much. And we can protect him like the offensive line I know we always have. And we also have the best running back in the country, so he could just be Mike Winchell. Hand the ball to Booby.
Yeah, I think,
and we're good.
I think what's interesting about that game is the quarterback position because Carson Beck has played a lot of football. And I know he left Georgia, which people don't do. I know, he wasn't elite at Georgia. I know he was always in the conversation as one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I didn't necessarily see it. Now I don't know. I heard a pod that they led the nation in drops last year at receiver at Georgia, and they didn't have that many guys. So I don't really know what he's going to be like, but he's played a lot of football, and I think that in week 1 that definitely favors Miami.
Yeah, I just like how last year we went into like arguably one of the toughest places to play in all of college football, week 1, and got the dub and got the job done.
Yeah.
So I believe Marcus Freeman. I put my trust in him, and whatever happens, because again, it's a road game, week 1. We still got Arkansas on the schedule, which they're not the greatest, but who knows what is going to happen. So, and shit. Well, I don't know. I didn't check. Did Boise State lose last night?
Yeah, they got fish beat.
That hurts the schedule.
They got
but yeah,
doors blown off.
Yeah, I think we still have Texas A&M on the schedule too, but that one's at home.
Yeah.
So I think got at the bare minimum split the two, but it would be nice to get the win at Miami, so then we can go 2-0 in that.
What's also cool about that game is I think Cristobal and Freeman now like they've got they both have their guys.
Mm-hmm.
They inherited a lot of guys. They've done a lot of recruiting. I think both those guys are talked about as 2 of the best recruiters in the country. I think they both got their guys, so those are going to be 2 different. Now Notre Dame is in the national title game, so I'm not going to say they're going to be a completely different team from that perspective. But when you get your guys in there, and it's the first year where everybody on the team is their guys that they recruited, their staff recruited, it makes a lot of difference, I think. So that game will be circled. You guys play on Sunday, right? Yeah. Yep. So that'll be the day after. So hopefully we can get a couple road victories and 2 not. I guess Miami's not necessarily the hardest place to play because don't they play at the Hard Rock?
Yeah, but I've heard different things. I've heard
they've got
especially when Notre Dame comes to town, it's real loud.
Yeah, well that's a whole different story. But going to the Horseshoe, I think, is probably a little different.
Well, yeah, the Horseshoe's going to be loud no matter what.
Yeah, but
Miami is going to be a little louder than it normally is when Notre Dame's in town.
Yeah, Catholics versus convicts, baby. Awesome. Well, I want to lead things off with Gears to Grind. It's going to stay on the football topic. My Gear to Grind this week is going to be with myself. Drafting guys in fantasy football who are injured.
Oh, no.
I do it every year. You're like, oh, this guy's a steal in the whatever round you get him in this year, Joe Mixon. Their coach came out after I drafted him and said that they don't even know if he's going to play. He wouldn't confirm or deny if he's going to play at all this season.
Christian McCaffrey all over again.
And last year,
it's the same shit.
Last year, drafted Nick Chubb. He came back, did fuck all.
Yeah.
So it's like you think you got these steals. I drafted him, and I drafted Brandon Ayuk in my first draft. And now I know for a fact Ayuk is going to play like week 8, week 9, but he's coming off an ACL, MCL. So, like, to not draft only one.
Same leg?
2. But, yeah.
Well, it could be the MCL,
it could be, but
ACL.
he blew the knee out. So, like, it was all torn.
I guess that's fair.
I guess my advice is, 1, I'm not going to do that again. There will be no thinking in my next 3 drafts that Joe Mixon is a steal in the whatever round he's available because it is exactly like Christian McCaffrey. We don't know what's going on, and that is not a good thing. Mm-hmm. So don't draft injured guys and bank on, especially guys who've been in the league for a while, like Mixon has. There's a rookie out there that might be, that maybe doesn't play for 3 weeks that heavily because he's a rookie, and then week 6 comes around, he's got a bigger role. that's going to be a lot more valuable to pick than taking a guy who's hurt and hoping that he comes back and everything's fine and dandy.
That's a good point, because even if that player doesn't work out, you only need him for a season. You know, like it's a short term. Take the rookie instead of the injured guy, and he's more than likely going to put up points.
And if he doesn't, you kind of have that expectation in the back of your head that he's a rookie. Okay,
Yeah.
It didn't pan out, but if you draft the guy who's injured and the expectation is he's coming back and he's going to produce, that is a way bigger letdown than taking a rookie in the 7th round and hoping that he produces at some point during the season.
Well, it's all and that goes to show you that having the backup on standby is more valuable than picking up the injured guy, expecting him to come back, then he doesn't. Then you have to drop him and find somebody else. When if you just pick the guy, his backup or the rookie beforehand, now he's on your bench chilling.
Yeah, and I did not get Joe Mixon's handcuff in that league, so it's like the whole thing's chalk. Which, oddly enough, funny, his handcuff and the guy who's behind him is Nick Chubb now in Houston, so it comes full circle. I did it again. I'm gonna avoid it like the Black Plague going forward, but
well, I think I was worse because when I forgot to mention this to you guys pre-pod, but I did watch the new Jurassic World or Park.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
What'd
And
you
I was
think?
watching that during a fantasy draft with our friends because it was rainy and shitty that night. And I drafted Quinshon Judkins. And he is a free agent now. And I panicked because I was like kind of watching the movie and I was like, shit. Well, I still got Ford or Jerome Ford, so I think I saved myself there a little bit, but I could have gotten so much better with that pick.
I think what I was going to say is like drafting a guy who's suspended is better than drafting a guy who's injured because like, okay, he's out 6 weeks. He's healthy. He's going to play. Now, Quinshon's case was he hasn't
even signed a deal
yet, and
he still hasn't signed a deal.
Ongoing court cases, so that is a little different. That at that point, I wouldn't have touched him with a 10-foot pole.
No.
But I think the best advice is the only guys you should take that will not be playing week 1 are guys who are suspended because they will come back. The length of time they're out for. Rashee Rice, Jordan Addison. There's a lot of guys that are suspended, but they're coming back healthy and they've been practicing. They're going to
be healthy longer too because they don't have 3 weeks of baggage on them.
Yeah, they're coming back fresh. So,
if you're doing a best ball league, like with DraftKings or whatever, then maybe take that leap.
Yeah, or
but if you're doing like with the boys, like maybe don't do that leap.
Like a dynasty league where if he doesn't play this year, but you'll have him next year, that's different too. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, gear to grind, hand up. That's going to be on me this week. My gear to grind is with myself. I don't know.
It happens every year. Someone always does it. Some guy who's out for the season gets drafted. Some guy's suspended, injured, and you didn't know about it, and you just click, not thinking, and then you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
and it ends up happening in like the 4th round when it matters.
Yeah. Yep. Well, Crit, I know you got a gear to grind as well, so I'd love to hear it.
Mine is not traffic, but it is, I guess, air traffic. The old fuckers that stand up when you land.
Oh, dude.
I'm sure I know this is a common topic amongst probably many podcasts, but just why are we standing up? I guess they're trying to establish their spot in line, but I just don't give a shit enough. I'm like, we're all getting off at the same goddamn time, and especially if you check the bag.
Yeah.
You have no reason to stand up because we're all getting our bags at the same time.
I like standing up to stretch my legs.
Well,
I don't move forward or anything, but I'll stand there in the front of my seat and obviously wait. But like, dude, sometimes
if you're in your seat standing up, that's all right. I'm talking about the people that just go stand up in the aisle and start getting their fucking bags and.
Yeah, no, I'll just stand there
especially
until
at the
it gets
back
closer.
Of the plane.
This is either probably pre-crit on the pod or a pod that never got released. But we talked about this.
Oh, yeah, good point.
And yeah, the people that it's not the people that stand up and get in the aisle for me. I don't really care about that. It's the people that dart up in front of everybody else to try to get as close to the front as they can. If you're not connecting a flight, you're a complete scumbag. I think I said they should be put on death row for doing that, or they should be sent to prison.
I think they even do. I think I've been on flights where they've told everybody on the flight, "Hey, stay in your seats. We have a connecting flight that we need to get off."
But they don't do it anyway.
People get
Well,
up
if
and
Oh, I
If
have
they
a
don't do it, you're
connecting
probably
flight.
okay. So stop panicking and jumping out of your goddamn seat. They'll wait for you.
we're all going to the same place.
Just herding cattle.
It's just absurd. The
I just don't like people
etiquette.
standing up. It kind of pisses me off. I'm just like, dude, what are you like establishing your dominance over this row? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, so people can't run up. I do that.
I guess
Chris,
that's a
so
good point,
we
but
probably get pissed at each other because I stand up in the aisle. I don't do anything. I don't grab my bag and get it down. But most of the time it's to stretch my legs and block anyone trying to rush up being a dickhead.
I guess that's a good point.
Sometimes
No
I'll turn sideways out of my seat so my legs are in the aisle
I do that.
so that they still can't do it anyway.
So what? So you're establishing your dominance over the person in the same
Behind me,
same
yeah.
row as you.
People that are trying to be the
True.
So-
I don't think about that, but you are correct.
It's
Like,
not all
they
heroes-
also probably want to stand up. Maybe they're just another geese and they just want to
fuck 'em.
stand up.
It's not
It's
all
like
heroes
fucking
wear
10
capes
minutes,
moment.
not even.
It's a not all heroes wear capes moment. It's just like traffic. If people are passing the shoulder and you get like a truck that pulls over there
Yeah.
and stops, like, yeah, fuck those people that are trying to do this. That's it's a scumbag move. Don't like
I guess
it.
I guess I see it from Geese's perspective now, but I feel like Geese is also just standing in the aisle. I got to stretch my legs. Sure.
The stretch the legs thing is kind of soft, but
You're shorter than me, so
yeah, but you're not like Jack.
I'm not.
no. But my knees go dig into the seat in front of me because how fucking small they've made this shit now. So yeah, my knees hurt when we land in 2 hours. So
I had knee surgery and I still tough it out.
Well, you're a better man than me, Crit. Let me
You
tell
should
you.
stay off your knees. Not good for you. No, I agree with that one though. But yeah, it's just scumbag moves all around. Geese, did you have a gear to grind, or do you want to roll?
No, man, I've had a pretty mild week, so
Well, then I'm gonna let you kick off the old Oscar awards then.
all right. As you know, car maintenance. It's hard to find a good spot to go to. So my Oscar this week is going to the Smoky Hill Auto Shop. It's right down the road. Just went to there. Lexi had to get. She has that protector plate under her car. Came off a while ago, and our old automotive place, the guy retired, so they're like closing down. And it started coming off again because they just did just some duct tape to patch it up. These guys quoted us like $990 because that plate you have to specifically get from Ford, and it's not plastic; it's like a felt cardboard. So we approve all that. They're doing the work. Calls me back, hey man, we are able to get this pinned up without having to replace the whole thing. So, you're looking at like $200 less. So always appreciate those type of guys. Very easy to work with. Very, they're able to communicate and everything. So Oscar to them because I will be taking my car in for an oil change there.
Feels like you kind of got honey dick there because I feel like they probably that seems like a classic. And I agree with you. It's good to find people you trust, but I feel like at the same time in the car industry, you can never tell if they just overquoted you.
Right. I believe it because this thing is the whole bottom of the car. It's all cardboard and it's form fitted.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to buy it from Ford like that. It makes sense. And then add into the labor to do it and shit. And then there's the drain pan under there that was like falling off. So in my head, it made sense.
Well, the thing is like even if it was overquoted or it wasn't,
I wouldn't know.
you wouldn't know, but you still like that's good customer service.
Yeah.
Like,
Now you're going in for an oil change.
Yeah,
Because if they were scumbags, they would have just replaced it anyway without finding a cheaper solution. That's how where my head went with it.
Well, it goes back to what we talked about.
Because I've been there.
Week. It goes back to what we talked about last week. Is like the difference between companies that know how to get return business and ones that want to push you away. Like if they quote you $990 and like, hey man, it actually costs $1,100, then you're going to want to kill them.
Right.
We would have been talking about this for 20 minutes on Gears to Grind. But since they cut some money down, it's like that's how you get somebody to keep coming back.
Yeah, no, and it worked. I mean, if it's now fixed and everything, they gave me the keys. I came back later to pick up the car, and it's just a small shop, man. Like it's nothing fancy. Like, and I've taken my car to the places that will just nickel and dime your ass, and I'll never go back there. So I feel like I have a good vibe for it now. I spent like $5,500 on my 2001 Toyota Camry.
Yeah.
And then the transmission went out. So
RIP.
Like great.
No, that's a good one. That's a good one. Critter, what do you got for us?
It's been going back and forth on my trip to Florida, so I'm going to throw out 2 Oscars, I think, real quick. One for our friends giving us a place to stay the whole time in Florida, saving us probably at least $2,000 of hotel stay, and the hospitality was great. I know they were moving into a new place, so obviously that was chaotic. And 2 kids, a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, going on a 1-year-old. So Oscar to them. And then I also wanted to give an Oscar to our captain from fishing. Just keeping us safe and saying like, I'm not driving you on that shit. And then just kind of being flexible with like, yeah, well, I'll just take you I'll drive you over here. You guys can go have lunch, and I won't charge you for that time that you're in there. And I don't know, there's just a good time. Like I remember watching, I think Barstool went fishing on Lake Michigan, and one of the captains was freaking out about a fishing pole. Like every single time, like, hey, stop, dude, you're going to break my fishing pole. Not once did he care. He's like, yeah, just throw the thing in, throw it on the trees, whatever, yank it out, throw it on the dock, throw it on the roof of the dock, yank it back. Just good vibes from him. So Oscar to him.
That makes or breaks a trip, man, because there are super anal captains that like you have to be perfect. It's like, dude, I'm on a boat maybe once a year.
Yeah.
Like I'm not your first mate here. You know, it's like I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
Good awards. It's funny that you have 2 because I actually also have 2 awards I want to give out. We got 3 people. We got 5 awards going out. My first award is going to go to pumpkin spice consumables, and what I mean by that is just setting the stage for fall. You've got candles. You're consuming the scent. You've got pumpkin beers. I've got one right here, probably the best one on the market. New Belgian Atomic Pumpkin. If you can find it, grab it. I know we all live in Colorado, so I know we can find it. I don't know if it's everywhere else.
It's tough shit if it isn't.
Pumpkin spice lattes, pumpkin, you name it. Dude, carve a pumpkin for Christ's sake. It's all here. Pumpkin everything is great. I'm a pumpkin guy. I'm one of those people, the flavors, the smells, all of it. I'm here for the pumpkin culture, the cookies. It doesn't matter. All that tells me is football is close. I enjoy everything about the pumpkin flavored things or the way they smell. Like I said, pumpkin overall consumable items, I'm here for all of them. If you've got one out there that I haven't found or I haven't come across, whether it's something I can eat or something I can light on fire like a candle, send it my way. I'm here for it. Pumpkin, everything. It gets an Oscar from me because we've got a candle going behind me right now. I've got the pumpkin beer going right now. It's just it consumes me for a little bit of time. It does kind of get to a point where you got to cut back a little bit on the pumpkin items, but pumpkin consumables get an award for me. And I actually have an honorary Oscar this week that wants to go out to the Dallas Cowboys. Or really, you could give it to the whole city of Dallas for all I care.
Give it to them all.
We have traded.
I got them both.
We have traded a generational basketball player by the name of Luka Doncic not too long ago to Critter's team, and now we have traded a generational pass rusher in Micah Parsons at the age of 26 to the Green Bay Packers, getting them out of the Eagles division We handled his ass anyway, but we got him out.
Now he's in Geese's.
My Oscar goes to the city of Dallas.
That's a
general
good one.
managers and owners. Jerry Jones, nice job.
Fuck Dallas.
Thank you, Dallas.
Because now he's in my
team's
division.
got them both. Oh, I love those memes. I was like, yep, both my teams got that.
It's bullshit because the Bears suck, and now we have to go against that, and the Packers always kick our ass. And it's just
now he's admitting it.
I'll always admit it, but like if it was Micah Parsons and Aaron Rodgers on the same team, I'd probably kill myself.
That's a fair point. That I'm sure Rodgers is like, oh, now you
at
guys
least
pulled
you
the
guys
trigger.
have Jordan Love, who isn't at that level. So thank God. But yeah, it's
fact?
bad news, Bears. I'll tell you that because he is a problem.
You want to know a fun fact, Geese? So
No, I don't.
Brett Favre, Super Bowl champion at age 27.
I saw this.
Do you want me to continue? Do you want to know how old Jordan Love is going to be?
He's 27.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers had the same.
Bet you guys get fucking
Aaron
snuffed
Rodgers
in the
too.
playoffs.
I didn't want to finish it. I just thought you might finish it.
Aaron
for me.
Rodgers did too.
Mhm.
All three of those guys at the age of 27, they made a significant trade for somebody, and then they won a Super Bowl.
That's not good.
Reggie White,
Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson, and Micah Parsons, all at the age of 27.
Charles Woodson was a free agent, but yeah, nonetheless, it also helped
That's
that
a
we
crazy
drafted Clay
stat.
Matthews.
It is
Clay
very-
Matthews was actually the problem too.
I hate every player on the Packers. I can't stand them. And it's not them. It's just the fans. Packer
I just
fans
like
are
that
the worst.
The new president, because the old president retired. Now the new president is like, I don't do lame duck years, so you better figure it out this fucking year. Basically,
that
that's
you
kind of what he
say-
said.
Packers fans are the worst because I feel like that's a part of fandom too. Is like, I wouldn't say that because I don't care about Packer fans like that. But
We're
Cowboys,
probably the worst because we don't talk as much shit and we just beat their ass to a
That
point. Maybe my
probably
brother.
it.
My brother's probably a
Matt's arguments don't
Not
even
part
make
of that.
sense half the time. So, like, he's just saying words.
Matt
but-
belongs in an Eagle fan.
honestly, he
Matt
probably
Ryan.
would be a good Eagle fan.
Yeah,
No, but it's just like we have mediocrity everywhere in our organization. So it's like, and then the Packers kick our ass. So what do you say to that? You don't. And that's infuriating.
it's a big middle finger to the Bears finally going in to get their guy at head coach. They got their guy at quarterback last year.
Yeah.
And then the Packers bring in one of the best pass rushers in football, who they traded 2 first-rounders for, and a defensive tackle who was getting old.
And they were going to get rid of probably next year, anyways.
And I heard this on a podcast, too, on Pardon My Take. Shout out the boys over on PMT, because I know they listen every week. Those 2 first-round picks, I think this is Big Cat. Those 2 first-round picks, will there be a player that Dallas is going to take that's going to be better than Micah Parsons? Probably not. Like, no. So those 2 first-round picks, like when you say they gave up a haul or they signed him to a huge deal, none of that matters because you know what you're getting in Micah Parsons, and I think it's worth it every time. If you have an opportunity to go get a game changer that's a proven NFL guy in their prime, trade all the picks. Trade them all. I don't care because
Right.
the whole thing in the NFL the last 5-7 years, however long it's been, is win now, which I think is kind of a weird thing to say because obviously you're thinking everybody's trying to win now. But all the Super Bowl teams, I would say probably outside of us, because we're goated. When you look at the
I'm so excited. I just hope we don't face each other like in the fucking divisional round again.
when you look at the lineups of Super
I
Bowl
hope he
winning
blows
teams,
me out first snap. Fuck
when you
that.
look at the lineups of Super Bowl
If he
winning
is, this podcast will probably be canceled because I want to kill your ass for saying that.
a lot of the guys in Super Bowl winning rosters now, when they show the graphic in the game, is like, this is where these guys came from. So and it's just a coping mechanism. Like, oh, they paid him a lot of money. That's going to be a problem in 3 years. None of that matters if you win a Super Bowl. Like,
Yeah.
who gives a shit.
Mhm.
But if they don't,
they'll still have Micah Parsons.
Doesn't matter. We have today. We had
until it
yesterday where I
completely
was on
resets their
cloud
team.
fucking 9.
I mean, I know cap doesn't fucking matter in the long run of everything, but I mean, with Jordan Love and Micah Parsons, and then Clark, you're eating $35 million there. I mean, that's like 50% of your guys' cap.
A lot of their skill players outside of Jacobs are on. Probably,
It is the youngest team in the league, though, so this is the time
I was
to
going
do
to
it.
say
That's
the
what I was
youngest
gonna say.
team just got younger.
it's like a lot of those guys that they have.
Again,
A lot of those guys that they have on the perimeter, and they've got a lot of defensive guys that are still probably on the rookie contract. So, like, that's when you go make a move like this.
Right. It makes sense, but I hope it doesn't. So
I also think they were not forced to, but I think the new president was like, because his dad was Carmen policy. I don't know if you guys saw the Dallas Cowboys documentary. I was on a plane, so I watched a little bit of it.
Would never turn it on.
It's hysterical
I
because
heard
you're just
it's
sitting
really
there
good.
laughing at him the whole time, but it is good. But the Packers' new president, his dad was the GM or president of the 49ers during the Montana days.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Have
he
Knows
kinda
a thing or
just
two,
was
huh?
like, no, we're better make some goddamn moves like this divisional round, this 10-7, 11-6, good, but we got to get better than that. So we'll see.
We'll see how you fare in the link in January because
I just want to see us in the NFC Championship. That's all I want, and whatever happens. But I think this is more of a 2-3 year plan.
that guy is a number 11 that we've seen a lot of up in Philadelphia, and he has not done too much to really. We've got 2 all-pro left tackle, or right, 2 all-pro
true.
tackles, so it
Mhm.
helped. But,
I
yeah,
think it's just going to make everybody else better. That's what I'm more excited about.
well, I'll tell you, you didn't get worse adding Micah Parsons.
No,
Like that's one thing I always think about getting a guy. It's like, oh, you gave up X, Y, and Z. Well, we didn't get any worse, So, take that for what it's worth. But, well, boys, we are at the Space Series finale, and we are throwing it back to our second oldest movie we've watched, the 1982 absolute classic, which we've actually gotten kind of lucky with classics on this pod over the last. We've only had 20 episodes. We've watched a ton of classics, but the series finale, we ended up on E.T. the Extraterrestrial, the 1982 family sci-fi. We had all seen it. This one for sure, I know we've all seen. Whether it was one that you've watched 100 times or a couple times, things you forgot about it or not, you'd seen this movie. You remember a lot of the scenes about it. You knew E.T. You know a lot of the quotes. You know the image behind my head here if you guys watch video. Kind of a nice way to round it. The movie didn't take place in outer space, but to talk about this movie not being a space movie or involved in space is criminal. So, Geese, without having Trav, give us a synopsis of the film, the best you got.
Yeah, man. I mean, we got a Steven Spielberg classic, as you said before, E.T., where we follow a young boy named Elliot in California who befriends a extraterrestrial. And we kind of see them develop a friendship where they start to communicate with each other, and E.T. becomes pretty much a family member to these kids, Elliot and his siblings, until E.T. gets sick, and Elliot, his friends and his family have to figure out a way to help him, keep him alive, and keep him away from the government.
Yeah, I would love to kick things off with first thoughts here because I feel like I've got 2 pretty different thoughts. One is I think this movie is pretty damn good. It's 50 years old, damn near. And I thought one thing we talk about a lot and we rag on and we try to take the hat off of old movies and the special effects. This is kind of like an old school, but like a modern day live action. Like if this was a cartoon, this version would have been the live action version of it. Obviously, this is the only one that we had, but that's the kind of feel that you get. And I honestly felt like the special effects in this movie when it comes to the bikes in the air and some of the things that they did were pretty good. Like they didn't feel, I mean, you could tell it was an older movie. Like obviously it's not like watching Harry Potter fly around in the broomstick when they're up in the air on the bikes, but like I didn't think the special effects were bad at all. you could tell they were old, but it wasn't like a sore thumb watching this movie with some of the special effects that they did. Now, where my gripe is that I wrote down at the end of the movie, I felt like we just read a book that was missing a lot of pages.
Yeah. I want to touch on your special effects real quick. This is the type of movie that makes you appreciate that type of special effect, like during that time period. E.T. was actually played by a 2'10" little person, and he was played by a little boy that does not have any legs, but was really good walking on his hands. So
Wow.
when he's in the house walking around, it is a kid walking on his hands, and then on all the other scenes, it was the little person. And to use real actors in that type of situation, and then the special effects are old, but like it just gives you an appreciation of it because of how well done it is. And then I agree with you on the second point. It didn't have a lot of depth to see character development, I'll say. I mean, everyone's pretty static in this. Yeah, E.T. comes in, and the only person really changes is Elliot, but he was kind of already an outcast at the same time, just because of his age from the rest of his brother's friends. And then by the end of it, everyone's still kind of the same, and it is an hour and a half or hour 50. So it just didn't. It skipped a lot of things.
It was a long movie to have. It had a clear plot, but there was no like theme. Like there's not a whole lot of meaning. I feel like, I mean, you could look it up and try to find certain storylines behind it, but like there wasn't a whole lot of like. There's not a whole lot of connection. I know we're talking about an alien that's trying to get back to outer space, so I get that. But there was, to your point, like the characters didn't give you a whole lot. It's pretty much E.T. and Elliot. There was a lot of other people involved, but there was not really like a. I mean, I guess it's like a little bit of a feel-good story, but it's not. There's no real meaningful theme behind this. I know it's a family kids movie, but a lot of modern day kids movies have some sort of theme or message behind them, and this one really, I mean, it does to a certain extent, but not really like a hitting home emotional or any sort of connection there.
Well, I feel like it was kind of hurt by the fact that most of the movie is filmed inside a room. Like if you really think about it, it's the closet, it's the bedroom, and the kitchen for good 50% of the film, 60%. And that's not to say that you can't do that, and it's not to say that it rubbed me the wrong way, but objectively looking at it, like it is filmed within like a singular area with the payoff at the end. But at the same time, you're not getting those relationships in those tight contained spaces. I feel like
that bedroom, which I don't think you realized that it was like that closet. I was like, that's so big for a kid. And then you realize a little bit later that it's all connected.
Yeah.
Could you imagine, Brennan, you and your brother, me and my brother, like sharing a closet, like being, you obviously share rooms, but like I feel like that would be so cool to just have that closet. Like, I don't know, just going back to my kid brain, I feel like that would be so cool to just.
Now imagine trying to share
that.
it with Chelsea, Lindsay, or Lexi, man. You'd get nothing.
We already do.
Yeah. You'd have to add another. You'd be like sharing it with
Need another house.
Nothing. They get the extra bedroom. You get the closet.
Here's some drawers for you.
Yeah. I forgot how small E.T. was, and I guess like obviously to your point, talking about who played him, but like when I watched this, when I saw his stature, I was like kind of surprised. I forgot how short he was.
I also forgot he is a puppet too, as well. So they had like 3 people, moving this guy. But the part where he raises his head up, and that's like his full height, I'm like, that actually, he just looks weird, all shelled up.
I don't remember him being shrunken down because I haven't seen this movie in forever. I always remember him with his neck clear the hell up.
Yeah. Me too. I forget, and it always struck me during the film. I'm like, why does he look so weird? I'm like, oh yeah, because his head's down. But
And I think last week you said he looked like a shaved ball sack. If I remember correctly.
I hold to that. Maybe a leathery shaved ball sack.
I actually thought. I mean, yes, he does, but he didn't look that bad.
No, I wanted to make that point for we talked about aliens beforehand in one of the other episodes, and we're like they're always humanoid. I think this is a pretty good interpretation of it's humanoid, but not really, right? I mean, the only thing his hands are about the only human thing looking of him.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good interpretation of like an alien.
Yeah. Well, in the introduction to it, right? There's a spaceship going down. There's alien hunters or whatever the hell they are out there looking for him, and ET gets left behind, kind of similar to Martian.
Yep.
It's hitting the fan. We gotta get out of here. So they leave him, and he's walking around in the woods. But like to the whole thing is like every scene, I feel like I didn't get a whole lot. Like they set the stage, but it's like for a 2-hour movie, it felt almost a little bit rushed. Because you get the crash, they leave him, but you don't really know that because they can't talk, and ET's just kind of walking around in the woods trying to figure out what the hell to do.
Kid was scooting around the woods, man. He could move when he needed to, and then most of the time he's just fucking waddling. But like, you get Mr. Jingles behind him, he's cooking.
Yeah, I just felt like we never really knew. And I still think even to the end, like you don't really know what that task force is out there looking for ET because
right.
That part kind of drove me nuts. Like, what was this? The Bigfoot hunters, or like, who are these people? Because like when they do end up getting a hold of him later on, it's like a lot of doctors and we're doing tests.
They're trying to keep him alive and everything, but based off the very beginning of it, you're thinking that they're trying to capture him to like obviously experiment on and everything. But the tone at the beginning, and then when they actually encounter him, it was just completely different.
Well, and like you have a point in the movie where they're posted up outside the house, tapping into the conversation, and it's like they frame it in a way that they're trying to capture this thing and like take it away, but it's like that's not really at all. That whole part of the movie just didn't make any sense.
I'm with you.
Who those people were
just government, I guess. One thing I noticed and I really appreciated was you don't see any other adult's face from like the government agency guys. The very beginning of the film, it shows his waist and them running through the forest and everything, and his face is all silhouetted. And then even at the ending there, he's the only one you see. I call him Mr. Jingles because he always has his keys on him. I couldn't tell you the character name, but that's really the only adult you see that gets FaceTime. And I just like that because, it's about the kids. So it's like the adult characters don't fucking matter. It's just an observation, but.
Yeah, I mean, the mom had pretty good fit. I mean, are you talking all?
Well, yeah, she's no, not all adults, just the ones that didn't matter. You don't see their faces.
Yeah. Was this movie was it my TV or the way I watched it? Was this movie just dark? Like, I feel like a lot of scenes were just dark.
The house was always dark.
Yeah, they never used any fucking lights.
Yeah.
The lighting was horrible.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is that like I guess you have good shadows like that and that helps, but it's like you're just filming in a dark room for 90% of this thing. So
yeah,
what are we getting out of it?
Yeah, didn't really care for that because I feel like there was a lot of good scenes where you could see what was going on, but a lot of the dialogue and trying to understand what's going on was just, and they might be talking, but it's like you're just looking at the screen like I'm listening, but I can't see what the fuck is happening. So that
I think it's kind of a cop out that it's like it's an empathic communication. until he starts talking at the end of the film. It's like they give us all these little chunks of like he's finally talking, but then he fucking dies immediately after he learns how to talk and communicate and shit. So it's like you don't get to experience that, and it's all just the kid acting, which did a phenomenal job, by the way. Elliot, thought he did a great job.
Yeah, and what I like the introduction to ET is the Elliot, to what we talked about kind of prior, is kind of the outcast kid anyway, and he finally finds something that he's interested in, goes back in, finds they kept calling him a goblin or whatever, and his brother's saying it's a pervert. Was it a pervert? Was it, it's like the most wild things, and then he stands up. Elliot's got to be 7 or 8, or I don't know, young. And he calls him penis breath. It's like the things that they get away with, are kind of crazy.
Him arguing with Greg, like that, the beginning scene where it's all his brother's friends and everything, and it's like, can I play? Like it's just such a sibling thing. Like, no, he's a dungeon master. You gotta ask him.
Those earmuffs, whatever the fuck he was wearing, he had no right to talk. What the hell?
But Elliot's connection is like he doesn't have as many good friends as like this creature is going to be. So like that connection there, and sleeping outside with the flashlight, second interaction, they get a chance there. And then the connection I made to this point was to Family Guy with James Wood, piece of candy. Piece of candy. And then he's like getting E.T. to come inside just by laying down these, like, I don't know,
Reese's Pieces.
I
think they're Reese's Pieces, yep.
They were big for Reese's Pieces, but the colors were spot on.
Shrinkflation.
They were.
Yeah, maybe they were big back in 1982. I don't know, but they looked like peanut M&Ms. But the piece of candy part, and like what was odd about that was E.T. gave him candy first.
Mm-hmm.
Like the candy originally came from E.T. and then he started putting it on the ground, and E.T. followed. It's like, dude, you just gave him the candy. How is he luring you in with more candy? And I don't know where he got it from, unless it was out in that shed, but he had a stash of it in his room. But getting him inside, and I got another thing, that's not necessarily specific to this point in the movie, but overall kind of thought. How oblivious was this mother to
that's just how it was back then, man.
That's kind of what I was wondering. I was like, is that just how it was? Like,
dude, they're all at the dinner table smoking and drinking beer and shit. Like, yeah, it was fend for yourself. Like, I've talked to my dad about it, and I know he was born in the 60s, so he would have been 20 around this time, but so I know there's a couple decades there, but yeah, dude, it was, you're on your own, kid. Show up at night for something. Like, they didn't have cell phones, anything like that. I mean, and add on to that she's a single mother.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I probably wouldn't give a shit about my kids either.
I'm not even talking about.
I'm not even talking about. Not cheap.
I'm not even talking about that. Yeah, that house was nice. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about specifically to E.T. Like, they did a good job.
Okay.
They did a good job of hiding him, but one, again, it's like eventually you're going to figure out there's a fucking creature in your house. But like the walking back and forth at the fridge scene, or the taking the Halloween and falls over backwards, and she just thinks it's her daughter, just normal. Like, she took a picture and the daughter just freaked out and fell over. Like,
making weird noises. Like,
how many times was this alien going to be in front of this mom without her having any idea that this thing was?
And the food that just disappears. Oh, the whole fridge is gone. Oh,
yeah, all the potato salad on the ground. Like, who fucking did that?
The beer.
Yeah, I guess to your point, at the kitchen drinking beer, but yeah, crushing the Coors Banquets in there.
That was a fun scene.
Yeah. The dog is just eating good because E.T. just doesn't like the potato salad and tosses it on the ground. But the Coors Banquet's on can, just on the ground. Nobody picks it up. She sees it. Doesn't say a word. Like,
yeah.
Who's drinking my beer? No, the fucking alien that's been in the closet for the last week.
Not the kids that are at school.
Yeah.
But you guys are eating double the food you used to. You must be growing. Like, yeah, Ma. That dude was pounded shit.
Speaking of school, the scene of Elliot faking sick to stay home with E.T. and popping that thermometer in the lamp just to heat it up. That's what a veteran move from that kid.
Dude, I used to do that.
You gotta find a way to heat that thing up because you know you're not sick.
And your parents know it too, but the kid wants to stay home.
Yeah, it's
Like,
just
yeah, you good? No
having.
TV. Just leaves.
No
Especially
TV.
if it's like every
TV.
once in a while.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
all right, man, stay home. I don't give a fuck.
No TV. I'm gonna be gone for the next 8 hours. I'll really know. I used to have those fights like no Xbox. If you're fucking staying home, no Xbox today. Like okay,
All right, I'm sick.
got
I'm serious. I won't get on my Xbox.
yeah,
Door shuts.
yeah. Because as a kid, 90% of the time you were not sick. You wanted
No, you probably had to take a big dump, and it was just too early to like actually go. So it's like, my stomach hurts. And then after you poop, you're like, I'm good for the rest of the day.
For me, it was like I didn't do my homework, and I'm not going to do it now, so I'm sick today.
I just showed up to class with no homework.
I used to go rounds with my
Yeah,
mom.
I did that too.
You better get your ass up. I'm sick. No, you're fucking not. I'm not going. I'm sick. Me and my mom went rounds back in the day about this.
To be a fly on the wall during that, because I bet that just
I remember,
escalated.
not to get too sidetracked, but I remember a time when she was at work and like we used to get on the bus because we didn't take the bus for a while. They would take us to school and then jobs change or whatever. So then we'd have to start taking the bus. And like, so if I was sick, no one's home. So I just text her, call, and be like, hey, I'm sick. And she's like, no, you're not. You better be on that fucking bus. And it's Brendan, so help me God, if you're not on that fucking bus, I come home and I have to come home and drag your ass out of bed. You're going to school. And I had times where mom was coming home because she called the school and Brendan was not on that bus. And we had it out. And I ended up at school that day.
Dude, just to be a parent and have to fucking deal with that. She probably had meetings. She had shit scheduled. She had work to get submitted. And then she's got to waste time and fucking go home, drag your ass to fucking school, and then go back to work. Like,
Oh, yeah.
fuck you, man.
Yeah, I was definitely that kid. I'm not going to lie. Kind of an overall theory thought, not theory, but like philosophy thought of this, and it kind of came full circle. So this point doesn't necessarily make any sense, but just thinking about the connection that Elliot had with ET and kind of talking to him like a dog, when in reality, everything that we've ever been told or like the movie plots around aliens are that they're way smarter than we are.
Yeah.
Very, very funny dynamic there. Now, I know when he finds out he's an alien because he keeps pointing home to the sky, he's like, oh, he's way smarter than me. But, like, the beginning, like, of their relationship of Elliot talking to him like he's a dog, it's like,
Yeah.
dude, this E.T. knows way – like, he's not an idiot. He just is in a foreign place. But just
doesn't know the language, right? And it's like
Yeah.
you assume that they're dumb. And I think it's definitely like a human trait, I feel like.
Well, it's also
Because
like
it doesn't have to be a
ignorance.
dog, but anything that you think, babies, for example, like you talk to it like it's an idiot, but it probably understands more than you think.
Yeah. It was just kind of like the dialogue connection of kids are kind of ignorant. And then you've got this alien that is way more advanced than that kid.
Yeah.
And he's talking to it like it's his dog. Thought that was pretty funny. All the intros to E.T. were interesting, like his brother and sister, Gertie and I think Mike. Mike was kind of cool about it, played it pretty cool, and then Gertie comes in just absolutely.
Oh,
And
just
Drew Barrymore,
yeah.
what a fucking wow! I like
Wow.
all these. Old
I said
movies-
that
all
right
these
when
old
it showed up on the screen. I don't mean to cut you off, but now I'm going. Said Drew Barrymore there. I'm like, she's in this fucking movie, dude.
Yeah, and she's a kid. I was like kind of like shocked that she had that.
It's
all
And,
the,
Like at the beginning of the movie, and she's like the 4-year-old actor.
all the older movies we watch, I look at the cast to see like, okay, if I didn't recognize anybody, what have they done who are they now? And it's like you type in E.T. cast and you see Drew Barrymore. It's like you don't have to look what she's done. You're like, holy shit. And I looked up fun facts. She auditioned for another movie, and then they just plucked her to play this role. Like she wasn't even auditioning for E.T. They just saw her in another audition.
She was that good?
Yeah, they brought her
She
in.
was good.
I was reading like
very good as a little girl.
ad-libbed lines, and I don't know how old she was in this movie, but it's like what 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, however old she was ad-libbing lines in a movie.
And played phenomenally as the little sister. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it was not bland. It wasn't stoic. Like she was fully into that, and then ad-libbing on top of that. But I saw Drew Barrymore, in the title screen when they were showing all the cast and everything. For some reason, I thought she would have been like an older, like 16, something like that. And then to find out she was the kid, I was like, which one's Drew Barrymore? And then she pops. I'm like, holy shit, man. Like, to be acting that young and for as long as she has been is just such an accomplishment. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, the only other person like Elliot was he was in Haunting of Hill House as the dad.
Did you see that one, Geese?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's in Haunting of Hill House, and I read one of the fun facts I read too is like he hated being famous. Like that kid didn't like anything about being in that movie and whatnot. And then he stayed in the industry, and so it's like, okay, so he probably didn't do a whole lot. And then he was Haunting of Hill House was in the last 7 years.
I mean, it's a whole series. Not Hill House isn't a series, but like there's probably a new series or whatever limited series coming out on Netflix with him in it again because he got Hill House, Bly Manor, Gerald's Game.
Yeah.
What's the other ones?
He was in Cloak and Dagger.
Midnight Club. What was the other one? Yeah, like a lot of those Netflix spooky limited series he's in.
I saw that a lot of this cast, like a lot of them went into horror movies. Like the
I was just noticing that.
Yeah, the mom was like every movie she was in after this was all like horror movies. And I don't know
what does it say about the film.
I don't know, but it's just like that. This guy Elliot's character did not like the fame and then stuck it out in the industry, which I feel like is weird. That series is really good if you haven't watched it. Very creepy. But I just didn't think I really recognized any of these people. And then you look at the cast and you start clicking on some of them. And it's like they've done some pretty good shit. And Drew Barrymore out.
I've watched every single one of those series that he's in. I love every single one of them. Gerald's Game's really fucking good too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the cast turned out to be pretty good, 40, 50 years later. But getting back to the movie, another thing I forgot about E.T. was that he had essentially superpowers. Like he had the Schwartz, like he could move. He was showing them he's from outer space by like getting the kind of a solar system going in the room with the Play-Doh balls. He had like a healing power,
I didn't know he could do all of that. I knew he could make shit float. That's what I remembered. But him, the whole issue of him needing like a empathic connection to survive and all that, completely forgot about. So like him doing all the other shit outside of floating was so a surprise to me.
Yeah, I forgot about that. And then how about the mom going back to her obliviousness of taking, the kids out to school or whatever she's doing, hears a noise, goes back up to the closet. And I think it's kind of an iconic hiding spot in a movie for like a scene, but like E.T.'s head and the stuffed animals, it's like you feel like you'd notice that one. Good hiding spot, great scene.
Yeah, all of them are fuzzy, and then you got this leather nutsack.
I mean, it's right there
with eyeballs that like look real. Like the whole thing is like, what are we doing?
And as being a mother, a single mother, so there's not another parent, you would have bought that for your kids. You bought every fucking thing in that closet, and you don't notice the one thing you didn't buy.
Well, and you heard a noise in the house as a single mother. Like you gotta single mother, single father, I don't care. You hear that noise, you know something's in the house.
Yeah, it's so loud. It's inside, and it's if you don't notice anything, like something fell over, you're gonna find out what the fuck it was. Like you're not just oh, okay.
It's like Billy Madison said, you get off your ass and you find that fucking dog. The puppy that found its way in kindergarten class. We'll never forget it. But like you turn everything upside down. You heard something fell over, something banged, nothing's out of the ordinary. You don't just leave the house.
No.
Everything's good. No, there's an alien in the stuffed animals that you just happen to just browse right on over.
Right.
But that shot,
breathed on it.
that shot is an all-time scene of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good shot.
Yeah, I mean the cinematography on this is just fantastic. So
for its time, yeah,
it's right. Yeah,
crazy,
I mean it's fucking old.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm kind of bagging on it a little bit, but it's like there's so many good things about it. It's just an old movie.
Yeah. How about the class of dissecting the frogs where they're not already dead?
Yeah, that's
Isn't
what I
that
was.
crazy?
Lindsay and I were like, "What the fuck?" It's like
Did
they were
they
definitely dead
actually
when I
do
did
that
it.
back then, though?
I don't know.
I was like, dude, he is 10 years old.
Just
And you are
throw a
killing the
core.
frog and then cutting them open right fucking there?
We're gonna drop a cotton ball of chloroform in here.
Well, they're not dead; they're just asleep. So then the kids are the one that are killing them.
Yeah, true. Chloroform's not killing them. I wouldn't think. Maybe they would to frogs that size.
Yeah, maybe with frogs they might.
Suffocated.
Yeah,
He did say going to sleep, and I just took that as suffocating.
Well, because they're putting the lid on with chloroform, it's definitely gonna probably die. But I was like, dude, we dissected frogs in school. They were already dead.
Yeah, you did in high school.
Children, you're gonna have children murder the frog and then
Now
cut it
these
open?
scalpels are extra sharp, so be careful. I'm like, like, dude, you're gonna kill somebody with that.
Kind of a wild scene, and also Elliot being Elliot, freeing them all and telling them to run for their lives was also pretty funny.
Yeah.
But
Well,
these-
isn't that the same scene where he starts connecting with ET?
Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Yeah, because that's when he kisses the girl, and because ET's watching the movie, I was like, was that some sort of another?
no, I don't think that was the
power?
same scene, was it?
Yeah, it was because every time they cut back and forth, like that was a scene where the frogs were running loose, and then like ET's watching that movie, the guy kissing the girl, and then Elliot turns around, steps on the kid's back, and grabs the girl and kisses her, who I thought was a boy with a mullet, and it was actually a girl. Yeah, I didn't understand that. Was that some sort of another one of his powers where they just like he was connecting with him and everything that they did?
Well, he was drunk too, wasn't he?
He had just
during that scene?
for his banquets.
Or
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say that's the same scene. I was kind of splitting them up because I thought he was drunk in the one, and then this was the dissecting.
So, in order to, I looked this up after I watched the film because I couldn't fucking tell you if I didn't. E.T. has to have a empathic connection to survive. So his entire species are all interconnected and communicate that way. And so he ends up connecting with Elliot. And so when he's at school and E.T.'s at home, he's communicating that whole time. And then Elliot's like feeling it and experiencing it.
Okay. That makes sense because that would also explain the sickness and all the things that happen.
Exactly, because eventually he couldn't sustain it. So then he starts dying, which causes Elliot to start dying until they come back to get him. And there's enough of them to hit for, it's a big enough organism to connect to that he ends up healing. But yeah, no, it was not clear at all what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you had to be
Just
paying attention.
had him
and
on the
make
side
some
of the river.
connections. Yeah.
What?
Two things from that frog scene.
Looked like a dried goose poop.
Two things from that frog scene that stood out to me was one, that psycho girl with the death grip just holding two frogs, just like they're all running around and she just got two frogs just squeezing the life out of them. And then the other point of that scene was like the sheer number of frogs they had. Like there's probably 20, 25 kids in a class. There was 300 frogs.
The whole fish tank full. Yeah.
Where the hell did those come from? they blew that shit out of the water. But yeah, that was a little bit odd. I'm glad you brought up the ET point because I was very, very confused because I kept writing down like, is this movie somehow connected to the kid? Like, how is this all happening? So that makes sense.
Yeah, about halfway through, right when he started getting sick, I was like, dude, how the fuck did this happen?
Yeah.
And so I don't know if I missed it. I don't know if it is very straightforward at a single part where, like, I know he has the flower scene where it's like he's connected to that as well. But, and I don't need a movie to spell it out for me either. It's just, it was pretty cryptic in my mind about, you know, what's causing all of this.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's kind of why I said at the beginning, like, it felt like I read a book missing pages because I feel like you have to look this shit up to really understand what was going on. But then ET starts talking, right? And this goes back to the mom's obliviousness. She knocks him out with the fridge door. And he's walking around. That's the scene where he's walking around. But then the daughter, Drew Barrymore's character Gertie, is like watching the alphabet type of video, and then that's when he starts saying "E.T. be good," and be good, and just talk. Like his voice is also iconic once he starts getting going because he's just like he's fine. He's been there for I don't know. We didn't really get a necessarily concrete timeline on the movie, but he's been around them like he's aliens to the whole process of what we've ever learned about them, like through movies being smarter than us, already picking up on the language and then starts to communicate and talk. His voice is all time.
It's so good. It's so slow. Like I feel like they just really nailed someone picking up a language like that is, pretty smart, but they kind of start with that, with the letters. They show him by himself, kind of self-learning, and then introducing us with Gertie and everything. And then the iconic scene of, E.T. phone home.
Yep.
And going even farther and being able to put sentences together. Like, a lot of character development was E.T. And, you can't even understand him up until, like, halfway through the movie.
It's like right around the halfway point.
Yeah. E.T. phone home is good, but I liked ouch when he like healed the kid's finger. And even like during like sad times. Like, I don't know, like the kid didn't want him to leave. Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch. I just liked how he said ouch. It just cracked me up.
It just kept using the same word for a bunch of different areas. Like
different reasons.
Yeah.
Cuts. Feelings. Yeah.
That was one that was right after the kind of halfway point too, because that's when I was writing down also because I had written earlier I forgot E.T. had superpowers, and now it's like he has magical healing powers. The finger comes out, he says ouch, he's healing Elliot. And I wrote down, and maybe this is the wrong word, but like it kind of feels like a telekinesis. Is that the right word for being able to make
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but he also had the healing because of the plants, the kid, like he was able to heal shit. So like I did not remember that whatsoever. But now it's to the point where it's Halloween. It's the scene we talked about earlier. But my question about this scene was they had framed E.T. to be Gertie to the mom because mom still doesn't know. We're an hour into the movie. And mom still has no idea that this alien's in their house. And he's in the classic bed sheet with eye holes cut out ghost costume.
Love it.
We still see it now. They take the photo, and I actually also put down like this mom has just zero brain. Like the photo, and ET falls over and is like, well, like making all the noises and just hits the deck
and goes like completely down, like
completely.
Dude, it's so many red flags.
My question though to this point, which is another one of the pages that might be missing, is we didn't really get the story behind where Gertie was going. And we just get a shot of Gertie in the middle of fucking nowhere with a bicycle and a ghost costume. Like, mom, it's not even only ET. Your daughter is gone. Completely gone. And like you'd think it would be one of the brothers that would do it, but obviously as the two older brothers, you can't trust the sisters, keep the secret there. And she did a good job of doing it. But them showing Gertie just out in the middle of nowhere with a bicycle waiting for them to come get her is like, that blew my mind. Like, we didn't know anything about that plan.
No, and it just jumped to it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, just jumped to her next to a fence.
That's why it's like the
bicycle.
movie's so good, but it does, like, if you're being critical of it, it does have some holes in it where it's like, how the fuck did we get here?
Yeah. I thought it was funny that Yoda was in it, in the costume, just going back to Spaceballs and yogurt, and then
Yeah.
the connection of Yoda also being short, and E.T. sees Yoda in the costume and thinks it's like somebody he can connect with.
Yo.
Yeah, like, holy shit, you're here too? You know, and they
No, I was by myself, man. Where you been?
Yeah. And the cut finger, going back to that, was that I wrote somewhere in my notes, I wrote down, like, the fact his finger cuts so fast touching that saw blade, just such a quick cut. But like the to get back to where we were in the Halloween scene is, you know, that's when they planned on going to, you know, ET phone home, and they just got all this machinery to go out, you know, in the woods and call home. And again, this is the first time the mom, I feel like, kind of checked into reality of like calling the police, my son's missing, and understanding what the hell is going on with her kids. But the whole connection of machinery to phone home, again, just shows the alien intelligence aspect of it, of what I kept thinking about, that connection of like, he doesn't care what equipment you have. He's going to figure out a way to make a device that's going to be able to alert to his people to come get him.
Which is crazy that he's able to do that on technically to him, an alien planet.
Yeah.
Doesn't know shit about fuck, and is able to build something that gets the job done. It's like, his intelligence is incomprehensible.
Yeah. And they fall asleep. And here's a point. We talk about music a lot. I love the old school, like, mystery orchestra music. This movie's music was so good.
Well, it's like, and even the beginning of the film, like, it makes it not scary, but it has that undertone of like, okay, this is kind of some serious shit. And like really just set the tone of the whole film. But yeah, the music is fantastic.
Kind of like why we watch or why we like Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And I feel like the Goonies had a little bit of that too.
Yeah.
Dude, I got Goonies flashbacks watching this film.
Yeah.
Especially the bike scene. I was like, what, this guy riffed from the Goonies? And because I forgot what year they were in and everything. I'm like, or vice versa. But I was like, this movie probably had the best chase scene ever. I mean, the amount of cops, the bikes, the jumps, like, we had professional BMX riders on these things.
Seriously.
Dude, it was epic.
New construction.
When it comes to flashbacks, I kept thinking E.T. I thought of two movies in particular, and I feel like there's probably more out there, but the way he was, like, his character, the way he was shaped and, like, his visual appearance made me think of two movies in specific, and I don't know if you guys ever thought of any of these or thought of something else, but it looked like Ants.
Yeah.
Like Ants, the main guy in Ants. And then I thought of, what is that movie of the little, like, toy soldiers?
Toy Soldiers.
It's called Toy. I kept thinking Super.
Yeah, you're thinking of
he looks like one of those two.
The Predator looking dude. I forget his name, but he has the bow and everything, and
yes.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I feel like E.T.'s been used as like a mimic of other characters that we've seen past this movie, because those two guys in the Ants and the Toy Soldiers, like, they look very, very similar to E.T.
Toy or small soldiers?
Small soldiers, I think.
Small soldiers.
I think that's what it is. In regards to E.T.'s design, dude, that movie fucks.
That movie rocks, dude.
Well, I hope we get that at some point.
I don't know how we're working in.
Maybe a toy category. I feel like there's enough movies out there to put one together. But in regards to E.T.'s design, I'm pretty sure that's based off of a lot of like extraterrestrial photos, like hoaxes, just like documentation in general that has actually been found. Like his whole head shape is based off like shit that's been documented before.
I saw a note that the production budget of $10.5 million. So like, I'm looking at the website now, but the film had a production budget of $10.5 million, which they say, just to help you out, so we don't have to look it up what it is today. They say roughly $30 million today. They said a huge chunk of that budget went to designing ET. Like a lot of the budget went to design.
It was worth it. It was worth it. I mean, the 80s is one of the greatest time periods for film because those guys are experimenting like motherfuckers, dude. Like like either small scale puppets, prosthetics, like CGI has replaced all of that to one. Like it does look good, it does reduce budget depending, but it like it's CGI. Like this looks real. It is real. It is physical. Actors can interact with it actually, and it heightens everything.
Yeah.
You guys want a remake? If you saw it in your lifetime, do you want that? Or do you just want to keep this as is?
I don't
That's
know
kind of what I feel.
I don't think it needs one.
I don't know if I want it, but I think the fact that of the timeline of like, I know this is 82 and I was born in 96, so it's not like my childhood, but I watched it my childhood. Like I would watch it. Like if they did it again, I would watch it. I saw that there was supposed to be a sequel that never came out. Where you learn E.T.'s name is like Zrek, is like Zrek is his name.
Well, good thing it didn't.
Yeah.
But no, I mean I would watch it, but I don't think it needs one. I think you get enough of watching this.
As good as they did.
Don't give them
it,
any
really
ideas, honestly. I mean, just re-release it. Like, why can't we just re-release films for kids and shit? Like, go experience the original
up
movie.
Up the lighting a little bit.
Dude, they could remaster this movie for sure. They do
that.
No.
I would be good with like a remaster. I think is called for, but not every movie needs to be redone.
Yeah.
So I'm so tired of it. I'm tired of the sequels, the prequels, the remakes. Like, just give me some original shit.
So E.T.'s gone. Wake up in the woods. E.T.'s gone. Elliot comes home, filing a police report at home. Elliot shows up and
looks like shit.
He's still painted, like his costume, or I don't even know what he was, but he's painted.
Well, was he still painted? I thought he was just like deteriorating there.
Well, see,
I'm like, how did he get so sick all of a sudden?
Well, that's the thing is, like, I don't know how he got. Well, now I know because you told me, but like, I didn't even notice he was getting sick until later on. But I love the line of like when he's talking to his little brother, he's like, "You got to find him, Mike, in the forest." And then Mike,
and he finds him fucking on point.
Bolts it, baby.
Just like, a pruny raisin up by the creek, dried up. The
dried up goose turd, man. He was not looking good. The fact he made it all the way there—that's where I was questioning it. Like, why? I don't know why I missed that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know why he left Elliot.
Like, to get away from him so he didn't kill him, or I was just like, how the fuck did he? They're in the middle of the woods in their little, dead patch, and then he's an overdosed homeless guy on the side of the creek. Like, yeah, it was a big jump.
It might have been a connection thing. My other problem with this, and maybe I'm wrong, but when they do all get E.T. back to the house, half the people had the hazmat suits on, but the people that first went into the house looked like they were in full-blown astronaut gear.
Hell yeah. I love that.
It's like they were just like fully on astronaut suits, which I think astronaut suits are pretty fucking heavy.
They are. But they're also all insulated with their own oxygen supply. So if you're dealing with an alien, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Like that's where I was laughing, obviously, but I gave it a little bit more thought. I was like, well, you are like fully insulated from everything. So like anything contagious, you're good. And you don't have to worry about like shit ripping. Like you're in heavy duty stuff. But then like he's just like jumping through the windows and shit. Like there were so
There was
goddamn many of
felt
them.
like there was 1,000 of them just swarming the house. But that's when we kind of get the connection when they find ET. They get out to they quarantine everything. Then the hazmat suits come out. Another fun fact of the website I saw was that every doctor in that movie was a real doctor.
Really?
Spielberg wanted the real effect of like the operating room, so like all the people in there were real doctors. I think one of the one guy who was talking to Elliot was not. He was an actor, but like everybody else in there was like real doctors and whatnot that are in operating rooms. But that's when you find out about the brainwaves being identical. But this is also the biggest, like, I don't know what the fuck is going on because I didn't they're both just now sick. And I just we didn't get there. Like, it didn't get me to the point of how did this happen? It just,
right. Well, it's like, even with the explanation of it, it's like, yeah, their brain waves are connected. Like, are they absorbing each other? Or, you know, like, it's just like, you had to infer what the hell is going on.
Well, it made me think of Weapons. And like, if you guys haven't seen Weapons, spoiler alert, close your ears. It made me think of, the life sucking. It's like you're feeding off of life.
Yeah.
And that's what they made you think of. So didn't understand how they got sick, but then you notice the plant's dying. So, ET's going down. Like, they give you a lot of those context clues.
Yeah. They give you a ton of context clues. You just like, not that I wasn't paying attention, but you have to be actively thinking, like, how is this all connected?
Yeah.
Which isn't bad, but heads up.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he dies, essentially. I mean, he flatlines,
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, the model that they had for ET was just phenomenal. Like, I mean, they're doing chest compressions. They're doing all that shit. They're moving his head around. Like, it actually looks like a body.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, they did such a great job with, like, the caricature, and, like, the puppetry, the mask, everything. It was good.
And they try to revive him. That's where I think the Dr. feel came in, it felt like a real scene there. And they can't. And then they want to ice him for research and whatnot. And Elliot hitting him with the "I love you" and closing the icebox was a tough feels moment.
No, I mean, I like how the doctor guy, Mr. Jingles, like, he still has his keys on, even in the suit and everything. But this is where we talked about it earlier. That, hey, Elliot, like, I'm so glad that, you were able to experience this. Like, it came as, like, super heartwarming. And, like, oh, yeah, we're going to try and save his life and everything. But at the very beginning of the film, it seems like they're hunting him.
Like they're evil.
Right? And then they're staked outside of his house. So it was weird in a sense of, like, I thought they were still trying to do something nefarious. But then he's at the very end with his mom. Like, he's the one guy that was there that was fully interested in just, like, experiencing aliens. Which, again, it's just a different tone from beginning to end. And it's shocking at that point because we're led to believe, and maybe that's the point, is that we're led to believe that they're not looking out for...
They're evil. Yeah.
Yeah, they're evil, for a better term.
And the fact that they rolled out the most perfect sized casket, basically.
Yeah.
For him.
Well, I mean, I think they were going to experiment the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
Cut him up. Like, that was coming no matter what, but...
For Elliot to know that from the get-go.
Oh, yeah.
Perform a lobotomy on him, like, even like before
foreshadowing
any of this. Yeah.
I thought that Drew Barrymore's character, I know we've gave her a lot of praise, but like her acting job was really well done because you get back to the "I love you," closing the casket, the icebox, whatever, preserve, and you go back to the house, mom. Everybody's kind of crying. Everybody kind of sees the connection at this point. The mom, especially, about Elliot and this alien, and the flower growing again, and then Gertie's character, like, going down to tell mom to go read the note to figure out what's about to happen. which is then Mike stealing the van with ET in it and them just taking off. It's like he's probably 13, 12. Like, well, he was driving. He's probably 15, I guess.
Driving just to the end of the driveway,
and
not further.
Audi,
just to the very end.
Yeah. So he probably wasn't permit level yet, but he was.
He's like, I don't drive forwards.
Yeah.
No, I mean he was definitely at that age that cutoff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then they had the kids takeover of like Mike and Elliot telling the other three friends like, meet us at the top of the playground, and they're driving this van of stealing, government property, I'm sure.
Worth
and then that's
millions of dollars.
Yeah. That's where your car chase happens. These dudes are just ripping these bikes. And that's where I said when E.T. got him all to float, kind of like reindeer do. And it kind of felt like reindeer in old school movies. But, like, it didn't look that bad. Like, I really don't think it was bad.
I'm curious on how that was filmed because it looks like CGI a little bit.
I feel like they were riding on a green screen.
That
and maybe had like a helicopter shot.
It
and
looked
then they put that
a
on the
little
green screen.
off, but at the same time, it wasn't bad. Like it didn't take me out of it. It's just that's the quality I would expect.
Yeah, in the 80s, that's what you're getting.
Well, and it's also a nice touch because, like, if they would have just gotten away, we could have done the easy, like, there's no way these kids just got away from the cops,
Well, especially because during that whole chase, like, there's a million cop cars.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Absolute infinity. And then it's like, we should split up 5 minutes later and they're all back together. It's like, oh, why?
It reminds me of The Dark Knight when they rob the bank and then they take off and then this out of nowhere in one city, there's just thousands of cop cars. Like they've got everybody's free and we've got the whole platoon of cops in the Western Hemisphere chasing these kids on bicycles. But I think the flying definitely gives you that, like, it didn't make me think like how the fuck did they get away, because they gave you a reason as to how they got away. So I think that was a good touch.
Well, and they were setting it up from like the very beginning of the movie, from when he was like moving all the balls in the air and shit.
Yeah.
So a great setup. Definitely nothing in this movie was like an asshole or like they just did it because the plot needed it to be. I mean, it's a real term.
Did you say ass?
I know.
Ass?
Yeah, you said asshole, and I just saw Brendan's head go.
I just haven't heard that, but I knew you didn't say asshole.
Brendan's camera's messed up on my screen. He's like...
No. It's fine on mine.
Is that what I'm doing over there? There's no way that's what I look like on your end. There's just
All right, I'm going to film it.
Exactly what you just did. There's just no chance.
But
I am
like when they pulled out the shotguns and they made that nice dramatic shot of the shotguns and they just go and just looked at it.
I know. Like, yeah, they were going to do something about it, and then they take off like 3 feet in front of them, man.
Like you could have done something with those.
Yeah.
Probably not with kids,
full of lead.
Still.
Liked the ending scene a lot. Said something different to each kid. I think Gertie was be good. Mike was thank you, and then he told Elliot to come with. And then he said come, he said stay. That's where you got the final kind of emotional part to it. But I think the fact that, he said something different, it was a cool, because he didn't talk much, but it was cool that he kind of had one last connection with each of the family members there, the siblings. And you get the hug, the tears, all the good stuff. But then he starts doing his waddle up the ramp, and the dog just comes up and just. I thought like that's when those little things happen in these movies where I'm like, Elliot does not get on the ship, but when the dog ran up to just nudge ET forward, I was like, does Elliot get in here and they take off? Like, did I forget this? But literally the dog was just getting up there to just hurry that scene up, get that fucker up on the plane or the ship.
I think when I was watching this, I thought it was an accident with the dog going too far and then them sending him back. Like he was supposed to come up and sit by Elliot, but he went to the trainer in the ship, and then they sent him back out, and I think they just kept it.
Okay.
That's what it looked like to me. Like, and then because it made sense. Like it wasn't bad or anything, but a dog would do that. Just got too excited.
Like, hey, what's going on in here?
Yeah, ran past where it was supposed to go, and then they sent him back. But I thought the same thing. I was like, why is the dog going up there?
Yeah, it was weird. But I thought the end, I mean, that was pretty much it. The ship closes, take off, the heartbeat's going. Like, overall, I mean, the end it was a good ending.
Special effects wise, that heart glowing in there is so cool.
And how it closed, right around the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, but overall, I mean, I thought it was, I mean, again, for 1982, I know we've dogged a lot of older movies. Not outside of the story just kind of getting chopped up a lot and missing a lot of key points where I felt like they could have explained a little bit better. I thought overall it was pretty damn good.
I agree. I know. 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Depending on how picky you're being, but it holds up today. Yeah, yes, it's old. Don't get me wrong, but the story is still good. It's well done. Great acting, great special effects, great music. There's just things that you can nitpick on, but it doesn't ruin anything.
That was kind of my final note. Was the music was really, really good.
It set up the film, right? And that's what you want from music, but it brought you in, it made you interested, and then like really hammered the parts where you had to be paying attention.
Yep. Yeah, well, that wraps up the old space series there. I know, cool topic. I know we've got another good one coming for you next, but to kind of round out the space series and as a whole, we were, without having everybody or having more than two of us last week, we couldn't do our popcorn draft of the series. So definitely wanted to be able to dive into that topic here as we wrap up. I know Trav's got some thoughts that we had him hold off on sending until you guys will probably hear those next week. But wanted to get our popcorn draft of items that you would bring to space. So we're thinking here a lot of different things we had to talk about in terms of parameters, but trying to keep it on topic with the space series. So thinking about really in particular the Martian and how they extended their trip, X amount of 100 days, 900 days, whatever it was. But we just kind of said, hey, we're taking a trip to Mars. It's a 3-year trip. So not necessarily stranded in space, but you're traveling in space. What items would you bring is going to be the draft. Now, we also set the standard of food, water, a lot of those necessities to stay alive items are going to be as a given. So eliminating those from the draft. I don't know where everybody's heads went when it comes to items that you kind of came up with prior to doing this draft, but we did set the draft order prior to the draft or prior to the episode with the first overall pick in the space. What items would you bring to space draft? I will allow Geese to take the lead here and let me know the first item.
First item I am taking is an iPad.
My
audiobooks,
yeah,
music, apps, games, drawing, literally one and all thing that handles it all.
So. It literally ruins so many picks.
My 1-1 was phone, which I also put iPad, like phone, iPad, whatever, like, cause it is a all-in-one inclusive movies down, because I know you don't, I'm assuming we didn't talk about this, but I'm assuming like Wi-Fi and shit is not there, so like download movies.
No.
Like things like you got everything, taking pictures, like everything on the phone. I think that to me was the clear and obvious number one pick was iPhone or phone tablet.
Yes, I went with the tablet because like I wanted, like you can draw, things like that. Phone is right up there, 1-1, right it's behind it.
It's just like the iPad. For the reason why you're bringing the phone would be the reason why you're bringing the iPad, but you have more surface area there, so it makes sense.
Right.
Good pick. That was my one. I was hoping that somehow got to me, but I figured it wouldn't. But whatever. I got the third pick, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Now I'm in trouble.
Oh yeah, because this just eliminated like 2 of my picks. So,
well, best of luck. You got the second pick here, bud.
No, I'm gonna go gaming system for the boys.
Oh, that's a good pick. I didn't think about
just because we're probably not gonna have internet, so we're gonna have to need need something that's pre like Xbox One basically and PS4 and all that shit. So we're bringing an N64, and the boys can bring their own game, whatever. But
nope, games
can have
count
4
as
people
separate
on
items,
it.
so you only have a game system.
No, I think the pick,
that's what I was kind of worried about. But fuck yeah,
no, I
I got a gaming
I
system.
think
you better
games are
pitch
part
in.
of it.
Yeah.
the pick is the way I wrote it down, because I knew Geese was going to be the guy that would say something like that. Was like
Meanwhile, he's got the iPad with a million fucking things in it.
the gaming. The pick could be like a gaming setup, so you got everything you need to be able to play games. But I knew
Mhm.
I knew Geese was going to be the guy that would say that's another item. So
I was just thinking for the boys,
that
play
was
fucking
No,
one I had.
and
Mario Kart.
especially if you
drive,
have
all that
the like obviously you're doing disc and everything, but if you have the disc dispenser where you can put like 100 fucking games on there, dude,
Mhm.
you are set.
Yeah. Well, I lost 2 heavy hitters off my list, so I'm going to take a shot at Geese here, because I think the way I'm going to word this will take away one of his picks. I am going to bring, as a category, nicotine. So
Damn.
just an abundance of pods, vapes, you name it, like pouches. Like, I need something up there. I know we talked about, like, in the pick is the longevity of the trip. I have enough for it, because I'm not thinking, like, I'm not trying to bring booze up there and get hammered. Maybe you guys picked that, but nicotine, something to just one of your vices that you've got, like, you got to have
Yeah.
it. And I took nicotine so that you couldn't take vapes. So I took the category of nicotine. I want it all. It's all coming to me. On the turn, I'm going to take, and this one might be a little bit, I got a couple ones here. I think I got to take this one first, because I think I can get a couple of these other ones in the later rounds. I'm going to take comfortable clothes. I know you've got a certain set of equipment that you have to wear in outer space. You got to put on the spacesuit and whatnot. But, like, I think an underthought is just getting some good sweatpants, a good hoodie, like
Yeah.
just some comfortable
Stretchy
clothes.
shirt underneath, like
Yeah, like when
Yeah.
you're chilling, you're sleeping, whatever. Like, you got to get you got to have a good wardrobe up there just to be comfortable, because a lot of the shit we're gonna have to do is probably not going to be great getting in and out of it. So you're gonna want to chill out. So I'm going comfy clothes with my first round pick of round 2. First pick of round 2, I should say. Crit, back to you. Things are gonna get tight here.
Is hygiene covered?
Ooh.
Question? I don't know. We didn't talk about it.
Well, I'm just gonna go with it then.
It depends what you go with.
I mean, I feel like I could go without showering, but I need toothpaste and toothbrush.
Okay.
Just,
Yeah.
I feel like I could go without showering and all that
We
shit.
didn't
but I
discuss it
feel like
beforehand, so I'll leave it.
a
with
clean
you.
mouth can make you feel like a new man.
I feel like that would be included. Like at
That's-
least
I didn't think
just
about
That's
it.
kind of what I was wondering.
Just a toothbrush, at least. But hey,
I would allow
That's your
it,
pick.
because I didn't think about it.
yeah, I'm with it. I didn't think about it. If we wanted to,
Dirty bastards.
I did. I
Um,
guess my brain had it included too, but I like it is a good pick.
I'm gonna keep it. It
Yeah,
might be
that's
included,
a
but
good
I feel
pick.
like
It's a
yeah.
good pick.
or lose your teeth and shit. You know what? They never
Yeah.
showed that on The Martian.
Yeah. He's brushing his teeth with potatoes.
Yeah.
All right, my second pick is going to be good bedding. It might be too broad, but like a
Bedding.
really good fucking pillow, dude. Like that's
Yeah.
where my head
So you
went.
can-
Is like
You can sit there and float on it. You
Never
know,
thought
like
about
you're not.
that either.
Yeah.
yeah, because I mean I'm sure you'll have a cot or something, so I could go bedding and be like bed, blanket, pillow, but
Teddy bear.
yeah, Mr. Jinkles. No, my main thing there was just like a really good fucking pillow, dude. Because half the time you're up there, you're sleeping. So, good time invested. I'm curious what you'll say on this. My number 3 is a weed pen.
Okay. I figured once I took nicotine, you would end up taking a weed pen.
It was either or, depending on what made it to me.
Yeah. No, I mean I feel that. I think that plays for people who smoke pot. So that's good.
Gotta have the vice, man. I mean, yeah, you're gonna be working most of the time, But on your downtime, just a quick rip, like low oxygen.
Quick
Dude, I
rip
bet
while
that
playing
shit.
on N64 with the boys.
Fucking on my iPad, you know what I mean? Like, I bet a rip up in space hits way different than on Earth. Because that's like pure oxygen, man. Like, that's being fed to you.
We'll never know, but I agree.
Well, never
Okay,
say
so you
never.
got that was your third pick, so it's me, right?
Yeah, yeah. Number 3.
I'm gonna go with I'm thinking about the boys. A deck of cards.
Dude, I had that too on my
Deck
list.
of
That was
cards.
coming up for me.
The flexibility, whether it's with you or without you, I could play some solitaire on myself, or we can gamble.
Deck of
Fuck around
cards
and find out.
I had a deck of cards. on my list.
See, I have the iPad for that, boys, so I got it covered.
Yeah, well, that's good. You had to pass the iPad around. The deck of cards is way more versatile.
Yep.
Oh, 100. Yeah, you could do the little throwing shit with them, little magic tricks.
Yeah, you could just do that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Fling
entertainment.
cards. Yep.
I had it on my list. My next 2, I feel like to round out my list because I got 3 and 4 here, are going to be kind of, I guess, I wouldn't say niche, but just maybe something that you guys didn't think of because my brain didn't go to hygiene or something like sleeping. It was like comfy clothes, I guess, kind of, but it was more entertainment based or like what can you actually bring to space that would be like, you don't have internet, a lot of those things. So my third round pick will be puzzles. The puzzles that you think of naturally, the Hanayama puzzles that are more physical, they're metal. I had to look that word up because I didn't know what it was, but I played a few where it's like kind of a contraption where you got to figure out how to get it, like the 2 rings that are locked together and you got to figure out how to undo them. But like puzzles in general, just mind benders is something to keep your brain going. I feel like those and the bigger puzzles like the jigsaws would be another for the boys team game, just something to do to figure out. And my last pick, kind of in the same boat to stay busy, would be adults coloring books. So those ones that are like not kid coloring books, but like crazy shapes. Everything's a little bit tighter. Going out of the lines is going to be a little bit more noticeable. But like there's like 50 pages in these things, and they're just exotic kind of mosaic type shapes. And it's not a guy and a girl fucking geese, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, nice try, bud.
I didn't say
I was
shit.
with you for a little bit, but then I've seen them.
Yeah, they're
I know what you're talking about.
They take a lot more time than just your typical coloring book, and I feel like that would be something to do. So like the coloring book kit, the adult coloring book kit there, with your markers included, that's what I'd be bringing too. Final pick, going back at you.
We're stopping at Mars, right? A little quick pit stop because that's part of the 3-year trip.
I mean, this is
This
another
might be
wild
2
pick.
things you guys are gonna fight me on, maybe. But I feel like Geese having the iPad is kind of you got to give me at this one. But give me a driver and some golf balls so we can hit nukes on Mars and just have a good old time when we get there.
I see what you're saying. I feel like we're in the ship though. I feel like we're in the ship. We're not ripping driver off the deck inside of the spaceship.
Well, not in the ship, no.
I know.
But if we're stopping at Mars,
I mean, dude,
it'd be
you
fun.
could spacewalk and do it there.
Well, to the point, like
yeah, float the ball out.
Yeah,
there.
you drop the ball right in front.
to your point though, like even if we're not, that's the end goal. So it's not like the driver and the golf ball still have to be on the ship. So it is something to bring on the ship. So yeah, I guess that's a good pick. That's a really good pick.
It's true.
That's a really good pick. I like that one. I thought of like football and baseball to just have some catch in there, but
Or yeah, you could do baseball. That'd be pretty
Yeah.
fun too.
Yeah.
Busting out an aluminum bat and blasting it.
no, I didn't think the golf ball. That's a good one. I didn't think about actually like when we got there. All right, Geese, round us out here. This is gonna be. I'm interested to see the votes here. The adult coloring book probably just plummeted me down, but I feel like it's a good pick.
Depends who's voting on it.
Yeah.
I don't know where this falls in, but I'm gonna say like a multi-tool. Like, I don't. Do we have tools on the ship?
You just
Like,
want a whole fucking toolbox like you have your whole iPad.
yeah, can I? Hey,
You're like,
I want the toolbox, and then
How
everything
about
I
a
put
drill,
in-
a saw, the whole fucking 9 yards?
Everything
Whatever I
I
can
put
fit
in
in
the
it.
toolbox is
The
in
toolbox.
I'm cool with you picking. I'm cool with you picking a multi-tool because I don't know what that's gonna look like on a fucking graphic. A multi-tool.
Yeah.
we're really grasping at straws here now because we were all kind of on the same page more than we
Well,
thought.
no, I mean, like, yeah, there's entertainment shit to do and everything, but like, what if I'm outside? And I need a fucking my little scissor doodad.
We need the multi.
You know, it's like that. It's fucking useful.
We need the multi tool. Good draft. I mean, we did have a lot of the same, but the fact that we were able to get through it without not thinking of anything.
This would have been hard with 4. This would have been really hard with 4.
I don't know how these things are going to play on a graphic, but it will be funny to see. But that will wrap up the space series. Very fun one. We timed it up pretty well.
Exactly. Exactly. I have that same one, I think, dude.
Yeah, straight out of Costco. Fucking hell of a deal.
I thought I had it up here somewhere.
Leatherman.
Just getting the boys geared up about multi-tools. Just we love it. I have one behind me that's
Yep, pretty close.
all right, hold on.
See? It is.
So maybe you need to pick something next, Geese. We all bring one. It's all coming in the backpack.
I brought my multi-tool to the podcast show and tell.
Britain's like, I have to go flex my multi-tool down.
I was just the pocket knife one. Well, it's not as big as your guys's, but
I can't find it. It's not where I thought it was. It would have been a smaller one, but mine has like a flashlight on it, which is kind of cool. You just twist.
Chelsea probably moved it.
Twist the top, and it has a flashlight.
Nice.
We get a little gig, but space series fun shit. I love that we did this because we timed it up perfectly well to get into our next topic as well as the following, which will get us into Halloween time. But to get into the next series of 4, again, perfect timing. I know by the time you guys listen to this episode, you're not only going to have seen Texas beat Ohio State, but you're also going to have seen the defending Super Bowl champions beat up on Dallas the night before you hear this. We are going to be moving into, without further ado, football movies of all time. We've got 20 movies selected on a wheel. It's that time of the year. It fits into the pumpkin Oscar I gave out earlier. It is football season. We are all football guys. We are going to be getting into football movies. There's quite a bit listed here. We kind of cut off a few to name one that might get picked out right away. Waterboy. We did the Adam Sandler series, so kind of taking a break, so pulled Waterboy out. The Longest Yard.
But Waterboy wasn't on that one. It wasn't on the Adam Sandler one, so.
Oops. You're right.
Waterboy has been added. The late edition. Waterboy. To the list.
I was pissed it wasn't on the Adam Sandler reel. It's going on.
I forgot about that. I'm glad. Nope. There you go. There's your contribution, Geese.
The Longest Yard that you see here will be the original, not the newer Adam Sandler version.
I like that.
Got to watch the Longest Yard original if we're going to get it. But we got a lot of good movies here. There's a few I haven't seen. A few I haven't seen in a long time. But 20 football movies to get into football season to kick things off. Didn't mean to say kick things off like that in a football term, but it works out that way. So to dive into the football series of the next set of 4, Critter, let's see the wheel. The whole prediction theory.
Boy.
Now they were going. This is live. Live. It's already spinning.
It's already spinning. There we go.
We're going to get Jerry Maguire.
I was trying to zoom it in and it just fucking spun it.
Oh, and the real shits on Jerry Maguire.
That was from our fantasy draft. I forgot I didn't change the sound.
For some reason, I hear Jerry Maguire and I think of...
Isn't that the show?
I think of Jerry O'Connell from Kangaroo Jack that's on Pardon My Take a lot, but it's actually Jerry Maguire is Tom Cruise. So Tom Cruise is the lead in Jerry Maguire. I just Googled it. I've never seen this movie before, but
I don't think I have either.
I don't even know, based off the top of my head, how this is a football movie.
It's not. I think he's like an agent or some shit for a football player. So it's kind of...
Okay.
Who's putting these lists together?
What do you mean?
I mean, do you want to watch all football movies? That's kind of part of the reason I threw it in there. And it's actually, if you look up football movies, it's like 3rd on the list.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to do it.
I have never seen this, but yeah, Football Agent is the same. I mean, it is a football movie. I mean, E.T. wasn't in outer space.
Rudy is number 3 on the Google list. So
The one list you looked
You're wrong.
got
You went ahead and quoted me like an idiot. I'm sorry, I don't know every number, but it's top 10, I feel like.
All right, I'm gonna go 10. Just kidding.
We got a pretty good cast here for.
Was We Are Marshall on there?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
we're not total jerk offs.
Jerry O'Connell, look at him go.
In it, Jerry. In it. Come on. Jerry JOC. Love that. I don't know why. I just said when I heard Jerry Maguire, I just thought it was him going to be the lead. But Jerry O'Connell being in the movie makes my day. Wow. 20 episodes in, the space series is in the books. We are going to the football series. Excited for football season. A lot of our preliminary content before talking about the movie is probably going to be heavily involved in football moving forward. We're all football guys.
There you go.
Football.
Number 4. Sorry, Geese.
Well,
So close.
Not a football movie.
According to who? Our favorite, Rotten Tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
yeah, because they're reliable.
Jerry Maguire, top 4. Guys, thanks for listening. Space Series was fun. We had a blast. There's a lot of shit we left off the table, as we say every time. The wheel had a lot of heavy hitters. We didn't get them all, but we had a good variety of different kind of takes on aliens. A lot of different decades, different movies throughout time. And it was a fun kind of segue to fill the void of what we needed to get into football. And we're getting into football next. It lines up perfectly well with getting into the Halloween season and everything that has to do with fall moving forward. So heading into football, we've got Jerry Maguire starring Tom Cruise and my guy Jerry O'Connell, who I didn't know was in the movie until we just looked up the cast. But what a shot in the dark that was. But appreciate you guys listening. Guys, find every episode on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Instagram for everything that's to come next, to watch the movie along with us so that you guys can get a better understanding once we break into it. And let us know if you agree, you disagree, if you hate our thoughts, or you love them. We want to hear it all. And every other update you can find as well. That's the same on Instagram, on X, the Everything app. Everything happens on X. And I know we didn't have a movie theater movie to talk about with you guys this week, but we are going to see a Screen Unseen on Monday, which to you guys right now would be the past Monday if you listen to me talk about it. It's my wife's first one. I'm hoping, Geese, I want to see if you have a guess. I'm hoping it's The Longest Walk. I believe it's based on the author, a Stephen King book. The Longest Walk.
It sounds familiar, but I haven't looked at anything coming out recently, so couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I've tried not to look, but I've seen that preview a lot, and I know it comes out September 12th, so I know it's in the ballpark of a potential movie.
Oh, yeah. That's in prime of Screen Unseen territory.
Yeah, and I don't know if I hope it is that. I know I just said that because I probably would see it without it being the Unseen, but I would be happy to see one that I knew I wanted to watch. So
yeah,
Screen Unseen next week, maybe another movie mixed in there as well. But when you guys sit down at your Screen Unseen at the AMC theater closest to you, now that you're Premier members like we are, or maybe you're just going as a casual viewer to go see something that's out there and you're going to go see Caught Stealing, you're going to go see The Conjuring Last Rites. It's going to come out on September 5th, which I will also be seeing and be able to give you guys a little bit of a snapshot of. Or you're watching Jerry Maguire in preparation for next week's episode on your couch. Pop the popcorn on the stovetop like the old times. Grab the big, large bucket behind the counter. And when you get over there, don't forget your extra butter. We'll see you guys next week.
Extra, extra butter on the corn for me. Extra, extra butter. I hope they don't charge a fee. But it won't matter anyway. I got a good movie to play. I'm gonna ask my friends to stay extra butter for me.